biological dad stopped being my dad when he started being a dad to his new stepkids, so I told him that to his face and he's taking it really hard. My mom passed away when I was 7 and my father, actually my step-sibling's dad, remarried a year later. His new wife had 3 kids, 2 boys 8 and 6 and a daughter who's 3. He said she wanted a dad for her kids and he wanted a mom for me. I remember telling him I didn't want a new mom. He said I would understand later. My step-sibling's dad basically stopped doing anything alone with me. No more camping nights in the backyard or movie nights, which we had done every week for years. Nothing. He spent time with all his new kids to bond. It's been 11 years and he still doesn't have time for me because he's bonding with them. He stopped coming to my games when I got to high school. His wife and I have nothing in common. I play 3 sports and I'm on the speech team. She's very girly and likes girl trips to buy clothes and makeup at different malls. She knows I don't want to go but just tells my step-sibling's dad that she invited me. I have a teammate I play 2 sports with. Her parents have become like my own. She said she is totally fine with it. I've made sure all the time because I don't want to take someone else's parents. But she's always the one to invite me over and brings her parents to my swim meets because she knows no one will be there for me. She invited me to go shopping for Father's Day gifts, and says they're from both of us. Her parents get me holiday gifts and say I'm always welcome. On senior night at basketball, I told her my step-sibling's dad isn't going to walk me around the floor because he doesn't even come to games. She asked her dad to walk both of us and he was happy to. In a small town, that made the paper because they thought it was sweet. My step-sibling's dad flipped out and took us all to therapy. He asked why he hadn't been asked. I said because he didn't come to games. He said he didn't know I played basketball anymore. I asked if that's why he didn't come to swim or softball when he couldn't miss his 2 sons' practices. Or come to speech meetings when he went to his daughter's dance recitals. He just stared at me and said he didn't know I still did those either. I asked why he talked for days about his son's camping trip but didn't ask about my senior trip to Mexico. He said he didn't know I went. I said he signed the form. He admitted he didn't read it. I asked if he remembered the last time I called him dad. He said he didn't know I stopped. I said May 13, 2021. He said that was the day the 3 kiddos started. I said I know. You stopped being my dad when you started being theirs. I walked out of therapy. Edit. I have played all 3 sports since I was a toddler so I'm not sure why he thought I stopped. He never asked why I came home a couple of hours after practice or went out on weekends for game days. When I talked about games, he said he thought I was just playing with friends because all my friends play. Update. After my last post my stepmother wanted us all to go to the lake house. That's her happy place, her safe space, and her sanctuary she says, and it's her answer to everything. She wanted the boys out so she sent my bio father and her sons to the lake house to have time with her daughter. She does photography there and she's right, it does look like a postcard. 2-story cabin style. They never took me for the girls' trips or boys' trips, only when everyone went together. My step-siblings won't call my bio father dad anymore. My stepmom said if he isn't their dad and she isn't my mom, why are they even married? My bio father asked if she wanted a divorce and she said she didn't sign up for the drama. They argued and we went to hang out by the lake. We've been getting along great now against the parents, which I didn't see coming. Anyway, we went back to therapy yesterday and my step-sis brought up whether they are getting divorced. My bio father said not if they can work it out in therapy. The therapist asked if it could be amicable because it's obvious they're cold to each other. My stepmom said her kids could see bio father but she would just want her place. He said that wasn't possible because it's actually mine because my mom had it before they were married and it's part of the prenup. Stepmom was livid and ugly, cried. Mad all the way home. Then asked about the house we live in. BF tried to get her out of the kitchen but she screamed and he admitted that my grandpa gave it to my mom as a wedding gift before they were married. Turns out he won't let me move out because the house is actually mine since I turned 18. She said to split the savings because they had been living way below their means. He told her most of the savings and certificates of deposits were accounts set up for me by my mom's parents. She has been crying in her room and says I'm selfish for not letting her have the lake house my great-grandpa built and gave to my grandpa, who gave it to my mom.